Hello everyone. The cosmos is a place so dark and empty that it's hard to imagine how much is actually out there. Just in our Milky Way galaxy alone, we have nearly limitless Earth-like planets, gas giants of a seemingly unending variety of colors, and they're rock planets. But none of this matters to us. Commander Fruity Little Head sees only darkness. His perspective so wide to try and keep the darkness from coming inside. He is so sad all the time. Welcome back everyone. In the last episode we achieved our goal of becoming royalty and getting the Imperial Cutter so that we can better attempt to assert ourselves upon the unsuspecting denizens of the bubble with the use of brutal force most cruel. Well, not really, but it just sounds cooler to say it like that. Does this look like a cruel man to you? His eyes are so wide. If looks could kill, everything in a 140-degree cone in front of him would be obliterated. The Imperial Cutter is the jewel of his proverbial royal crown. Do dukes get crowns? But something has been brought to my attention. The hunted did not become the hunter, because as it is right now, we are basically a building-sized, slow-moving target. But it's a very shiny target. The issue with the cutter is that it comes stock standard with absolute garbage components. It's criminal how bad it is. I need to amass the space bucks required to change over these components to the A-class counterparts. I've been forced to trade a seemingly unending number of Imperial slaves from one system to the next. The worst part is the game doesn't even let me put them in passenger cabins. You put them in the cargo hold, like commodities. I like to think I'm taking them from poor conditions to better poor conditions. Or maybe the slaves are robots. It is the year 3308 after all. But alas, at this stage I am in too deep and frankly too afraid to ask. According to the Wikipedia, Imperial slaves actually hand themselves into slavery to avoid disgrace to their family? Heh. Stupid Imperials. Only use them to become royalty and buy the cutter. It's as famed philosopher Ron Swanson once said, capitalism is God's way of determining who is smart and who is poor. And the Imperials are stupid enough to sell themselves into slavery. Slavery that Fruity is smart enough to use as commodities. Smooth-brained Imperials became my capital. It doesn't take a genius to see what I'm doing is illegal. On a moral level, however, I stand above all. I am merely the taxi. I've never smuggled anything in Elite Dangerous, so this is probably not good. But what may help is a little thing called silent running. A setting whereby your ship will mask its thermal signature from other ships, with the drawback that your internal systems will start to heat up. Did I say heat up? I meant melt. This isn't good. This is so bad. This is so bad. I am actually about to physically explode with over 600 innocent slaves on board. Nailed it. Never doubted it for a second. With this newfound wealth, I've been able to spend some time replacing the old components with the new. I also now have legal issues, but that's okay because we have always been the prey. And what happens next, you might ask? The next step was engineering. Felicity Farseer is looking for unengineered singles in your area. Unfortunately, these people don't accept space bucks as legal tender, but rather this fake monopoly elements. This angers the Fruity. The newly crowned Duke thought about turning his beam lasers on the Farseer establishment to showcase the extent of his regal firepower. But in the words of legendary singer-songwriter Emperor Palpatine, with unlimited power comes great responsibility. We stay our hand for now. So after much time fine-tuning this godly vessel, I've come to realize that grade 3 engineered thrusters are simply not enough. I have, however, opted into dirty drive tuning, which I understand is probably the best one. I don't know, correct me in the comments if there's a better one for the cutter. I really don't know what I'm doing. In the real world, this equates to driving a coal-powered monster truck, but in space there is no such thing as pollution, so who cares? Seriously though, to unlock a guy who does grade 5 thrusters, I have to travel 5,000 light years from my starting planet. The furthest I've ever been is 900 light years, and I think that was by accident. I got lost. Anyway, in order to travel 5,000 light years, I was going to have to travel 5,000 light years. To do this, I got myself an Asp Explorer, a ship I hear is very good for traveling long distances, and I started to plan a course to plot. I found a black hole about 5,200 light years from my position, and if I was going to travel 5,000 light years, I may as well go somewhere interesting. What secrets await us? What interesting things will we gaze upon? What will be blacker? The black hole or the soul behind Fruity's vacant eyes? I've decided to speed up this footage because it took so long. This journey took me something like 2.5 hours. A pittance for some, but for Fruity this is like an eternity. You see, Fruity is only 14 years old. All beings of his genus suffer from the same condition. stress bombinosis, a condition whereby you live in a constant state of alert for fear of being hunted. This ages him rapidly. As we reach closer to our destination, I am starting to notice a cluster of very bright stars that appear closer with every jump. I love this about Elite Dangerous. What you're looking at isn't just a skybox, it's actually a live simulation of all the stars around your position in space at that moment in time. And your target reticule before a jump is also locked to the actual star in that space where you'll be jumping to. And when you arrive there, the stars around you move to adjust to where your new position is. I haven't actually visited any nebulas before this one, but I hear they actually change the color of the space around you as well. I've been told the Witch Head Nebula near the bubble turns space red. We fear the color red because it represents blood and scary things. It has always been the scariest color. But the black hole I'm traveling to seems to have a nice cool blue color, and blue is the color of sadness. One last jump for man, one giant leap for Fruity. And is it what I expected? Absolutely not. It's better. The lensing on the black hole is disorienting and the dark of the singularity actually nowhere to be seen. The grandiosity of it all humbles Duke Fruity, his guise so small and insignificant next to the unimaginable power of the universe. A revelation that in an instant it could all be over. There are forces of nature so limitless that it really makes you wonder why we are so concerned about the things we are concerned about. Life is all a play of scales. To the scale of the galaxy, a black hole is insignificant. To the scale of the universe, a singular galaxy is insignificant. And what about the multiverse? For us and for you, the viewer at home, if you take a step back and look at your life, you can find comfort in the fact that we create our own scales. Some stressful event at school or at work is only significant within the galaxy you create for it. Sometimes we derive meaning from feelings and events that, in the grand scale of your life, mean far less than you think in the moment. And this brings me comfort. But what about Fruity? He's the saddest man in space. His nihilistic nature unrelenting. He travels the cosmos alone, takes no meaning from the planets, moons and stars he sees. Despite his wide field of view, he sees only darkness. For him, this was a 5,000 light-year journey for thruster upgrades, so that he can become the hunter. But perhaps it should be more. He is a miserable old melon head. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I do try to respond to everyone, so if you feel so inclined, say hi in the comments. I appreciate all the support, so if you know anyone who you think will enjoy this, please also share it. But for me, I'm signing off for now. Until next time, see ya.